Hello folks and welcome to another video and welcome to what looks like an episode of The Walking Dead as our shuffling zombies make their way towards an aircraft that, well, it looks like it was painted by someone who was probably consuming some pretty serious substances. How's that for a livery? Holy shit, hey? Folks, and I should also welcome you to, as we take a drone view here, or a simulated drone view. Welcome to X-Plane 12.2.0, beta number 1, hot off the press. And we'll have a look at what this beta has brought to X-Plane. I've kind of been looking forward to this one, as have many people in the community. Have a look at those clouds and that lighting. That looks all right, doesn't it? From down here, it looks all right, I've got to say. More and more zombies. Where are they coming from? Are they kind of just appearing on the ramp, or are they originating from this nondescript building, perhaps? I don't know. Anyway, folks, welcome to another video. Now, this video will be, well, a few different things. I wasn't expecting the beta to be released. We'll have a look at the beta, the release notes, and you'll see it here in all of its glory, on my rig at least. But what I really wanted to do with this flight is kind of a bit of a retrospective for the old man. I'm going to recreate part of a flight that I used to do quite a lot back in P3D, and I guess in X-Plane as well, going back many, many years now. Let me show you the flight plan to explain what we're doing. And today's flight will be taking place in a location that I've had the pleasure of spending many, many hours in over the years in various simulators, mostly P3D, loaded up with Orbex add-ons. Remember those days? That place being Alaska. I've also had the absolute privilege of spending some time here IRL back in the day. Now, today's flight, well, there's actually two flights. I should start there. We're going to do two flights. Our first flight will take us from a place called Yakutat, down to a place that I reckon you've probably heard of, being Juneau, capital of Alaska. Heck of a town, Juneau, or it was when I think. How long did I spend in Juneau? I think we only spent a day. Heck of a day though. One of the best days of my life. If I remember to tell the story en route, I will. I'll probably have in another video. Well, how long's this channel been around for? 12 years or something. I've probably told the story, so no, bugger it. Just rest assured, folks. Take it from an old man who's trying to recapture a bit of his youth. Juneau was a heck of a town. So yeah, Yakutat down to Juneau, shortish flight, challenging flight because of a couple of things. Terrain is one, some high mountains here. It's a beautiful part of the world. Oh, gorgeous. Terrain being an issue and weather being the other one. And you combine those two and you have some really challenging but very satisfying flying in this part of the world. We'll we'll do a turn in Juneau and then continue on towards Petersburg. Now, another short flight. Easier in terms of terrain and weather, particularly if you stick to the waypoints that I've got plugged in. And these waypoints are just chosen out of my ass, folks. I'm kind of trying to remember the waypoints that I used to sort of plug in. I used to do this journey, what's called a milk run, or at least part of the milk run, back in P3D, and generally in the Turbine Duke. And I loved it. And I'd go from Anchorage, which is here, down to Seattle, down here, 5 or 6, 7 stops along the way. Yeah, over the course of about a week, and then the next week I'd fly back and do the reverse route when I felt like a bit of a I needed an Alaska hit, and yeah, really enjoyed myself. So we're not doing the full milk run today. We're just doing 2 legs of it, Yakutat to Juneau, and then Juneau down to Petersburg. We're in the Q4XP, as you saw. We're in that Horizon livery. I believe the livery is known as the Last Days livery. Last Days. An aircraft, a Q400, a Horizon Q400 in its last days was fitted with that livery. And I thought that's quite appropriate because I don't know about you guys, but some days I wake up, I feel like we're living in last days, end of days. We've got zombies in a flight simulator, for Christ's sake. We're getting close to full stop. Or are we? We'll see, folks. Anyway, that's our journey. 2 flights today. We're going to have a look en route at the new beta 12.2.0 for X-Plane that has just dropped. I'll enjoy myself. I hope you do the same. Let's go flying. All right, with the zombies seated, we make our way out to runway 11 here at Yakutat. It's been a while since I've been here. What you're seeing, folks, is the new X-Plane 12.2.0 lighting here in the VC. We can actually see the panel. How many years have we been waiting for this? I mean, without a hack, it's actually now standard in the sim. And as I just take an external, folks, just to show you, I'll just break there. Everything you're going to see here is stock, right? Apart from the aircraft, obviously. So there's no mods here. You're seeing the terrain, you know, it's generic stock terrain, no ortho or anything here. No mods, stock X-plane, stock airports. About the only thing that's not stock, apart from the aircraft, is the way I fly. If you've been here for a while, you know that, well, I take some creative liberties, don't I? I enjoy myself, folks. That's what matters. Rotating at 118, we've got flap set, we've got trim set, we've got all the good stuff. We've got landing lights on. All that good stuff is happening. Wind, I think, is favouring a departure off of runway 11. There we go. That's a nice view. Looks like we are heading into a bit of weather, but we'll deal with it. I'm really liking it. X-Plane, I don't think, has looked this good, at least on my rig, for a very long time, if ever. So first waypoint is Yispo. It's 17.3 miles away. We'll get some nav source happening so that we get our magenta lined up. We're all good. We'll zoom in a little bit on the range. Thank you, sir. We've got flaps not set. Good thing I checked that. Flaps are now indicating. We'll get nav happening on his screen because we can. Flight level 170 plugged in as our cruise. We're barring up. What's left to do, folks? Advance the throttles, I reckon, probably is all we need to do. We do that by hitting that. We do that. Let's do it. We'll do it again. Flight high. Make it happen. Airspeed's alive. Beautiful. We get there pretty quickly. Let's do it. Up into the bars we go. Positive rate and all that. Gear up. Jeez, I like this lighting. I really like that I can see the VC. Simple things, folks, for me. We'll just retrim, allow ourselves to accelerate. We might get Georgie involved early here. We'll go LNAV. Thank you, sir. We'll go IAS mode. And yeah, actually, we'll let that speed build up to, say, 210. Georgie, if you could do that for us, mate. Get rid of some flaps as we do that. Yeah, accept the pitch down. If you can build some speed as we head towards Yispo. There we go. So Altcel has been selected. We've got our heading bug aligned. We might get some terrain happening. Wouldn't mind some weather, but anyway. Oh, we're painting. There we go. So we've got some terrain. I'll take a external. There we go, folks. Just the, as I mentioned, the default X-plane ground textures. I don't mind this. The lighting, clouds, they look alright. Let me fire up the release notes. That doesn't look alright. Look at that ghosting type stuff that's happening. Let me fire up the release notes and we'll find out what this beta has brought to X-plane. Alright, so these are the official release notes over there at the xplane.com site. And as they mentioned right at the start, big disclaimer, this release is in beta. How to get into the beta. It was about a 1 point something gigabyte download. It did take a while for the sim to load up here on my rig after installing the beta, but not too bad. Not too bad, just a bit longer than normal. I think that's really important. Remove all those mods that you might have, and the default install is highly recommended, which is precisely why I didn't do that. I like to live dangerously here, folks. And if you're watching this content, you probably like to live dangerously too. So beta 1, that's what we're seeing in this video, released April 3rd of 2025. Known issues. Sky colors. Now they look alright to me, but okay, they're still requiring adjustments. Fixes and enhancements. Now, what I've noticed here is that this beta 1 is just the latest release of 12.2.0. They've been working on it for a while, and there's been a few other releases, right? So if it looks like, you know, the fixes and enhancements here are, you know, a big deal, there's hardly anything here. It's because the changes were made in alphas, right? So alpha 3, other changes were made. I'm not intending to read through every bullet point, folks. There'll be a link to these release notes. You can peruse them at your leisure, all right? But I want to try and sort of dig down to the first alpha. So I'm digging down, that's alpha 2, a whole lot of things happening. Alpha 1, which goes back to March 14. We started seeing some screenshots, didn't we? A few weeks ago. Now, where's the very first one? Developer build 1. Okay. Now, I think this is where the heart of this update is. All of this stuff down here. Right, shader compiler, texture handling, optimized VRAM. I don't know how much VRAM I'm using. I'm not tracking it. I don't really care. It feels about the same to me in terms of overall sim performance. I've stopped counting FPS and VRAM and all that sort of stuff. I've stopped it. Life's too short to worry about it. Fire it up on your rig or watch other videos where they do comparisons, folks. I'm not interested in doing it anymore. But look, a whole lot of stuff to the visuals, right? Cockpit lighting improvements. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord, Austin. Jesus. Thank you for finally addressing it. Cloud rendering overhaul. And the clouds look pretty good. You'll have some more opportunities to see the clouds during the course of this flight, folks. Weather. Look, there's a whole lot of stuff. Look at that. That was the original. They've done some work around parking brakes and chocks, new data refs. Like, there's a lot to it, and it just goes on and on and on. Fixes and enhancements. Have a look at it. So if you want to get down to, you know, to appreciate the full scope of this new version, you've got to read the entire release notes, folks. That's all I'm saying. This page goes on forever. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. There's a link in the description, folks. Feel free to check it out. And we have settled nicely in the cruise. We're getting along the ground at a very relaxed 349 ground speed. That's a nice view out the front, hey? Apart from some terrain which would appear to be above our cruise altitude. But according to Little Nav Map, and from what I remember, we've kind of got a gap through here. We're going to be okay. As long as we hit fakes and then bergs, we're going to be okay. Geez, this aircraft performs beautifully. Let me go outside for you. That's the lighting. You're seeing it. Right, there is some ghosting in the distance. That's not nice. Getting some flickering here. You're seeing that. I get it raw here on the channel, folks. I have no affiliation with Laminar. I'm not a fanboy. I'm not a spokesperson. I don't care if you like X-Plane or if you like the Microsoft Sim, or if you like something totally different. I'm not here to argue. I enjoy flight simulation. I'm sim agnostic myself. But this looks alright. These clouds, I was worried that they might look really ordinary up close. A lot of flickering happening with the shadows. That's for sure. I like that if it wasn't flickering. It's a beautiful part of the world, isn't it? We're going to get very, very close to that hill. Have faith, folks. Trust an old man. We're giving our zombies a real thrill here. Anyway, I'll see you for the approach down into Juneau. I know, I said I'd see you for the approach, but long-term viewers to the channel will know that I often insert another segment before the approach, and this is no exception. So seeing some weird stuff here in the clouds, right? Almost looks like a ball sack dropping out of the sky. Yeah, you're seeing some, I don't know, what's the technical term? Are they called artifacts? I don't know. We're over Glacier Bay National Park at this time, folks. Overall, I'm liking it. The flickering is getting a little annoying. Now, the next segment, I guarantee you, is the approach into Juneau. All right, on final approach, an oblique final approach, of course, customary here into Juneau because of terrain out towards the north. Don't know what the wind's doing on the ground here at Juneau. Looks to be pretty light, VFR-ish sort of conditions. We've got a reduced noise profile landing happening. We've got flaps 10 set, our gear is down, runway in sight, landing runway 08 here at Juneau, regardless of what the wind is actually doing on the ground. And we just need to keep ourselves maintaining contact with that runway. It's been a long time since I've flown into Juneau. Brings back a lot of memories, very positive memories. VREF is 117, and we've got some space between where we are now and that. It's going to be a flaps 15 landing. Just going to shave this terrain as we make our final approach. We should be more sort of out towards the southeast, but anyway, we'll be all right, folks. Have faith. Flaps 15 now. Everything good to go. Lights, cameras, action, all that sort of stuff. Our usual checks. Flaps are set. Gear is down. Our fingers are crossed. And our sphincter is tightening by the second. Some speed to lose. Been a very enjoyable leg. Like what I'm seeing in general here in the new beta. And really enjoying being back in the Q400. Not flying it well, certainly not flying it as a professional, but bloody hell, I'm having a good time. And that's what matters. Need to drop ourselves into runway 08 here. Yeah, I know, Georgie. We're good, champ. We're good, mate. We're good. Terrain inhibit. I don't need it. We're good, mate. Let me back off the juicy. Get ourselves close to that VREF. Yeah, I know, Georgie. Shut up. Little squirt of juice. Still a little quick on it. I don't mind being a little quick in the queue.
100.
Runway 08 Juneau, folks.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Gonna be firm, but we are on. Folks, welcome to beautiful Juneau, Alaska. I'm going to take a quick pause. I'll park us somewhere near the terminal, let the zombies out, get some more zombies loaded back in, and we'll continue with the second part of this journey down towards Petersburg.